All good things should begin on a positive note, and we begin this morning's proceedings with the lighting of the Kuthuvilakku. We have our Honorable former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, along with our Chairman and Managing Director, Mr. Manoj Santhalia, and of course, Mr. Prabhu Chawla, Editorial Director of the New Indian Express Group, doing the honors. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as we once again request Dr. Kalam to make his address to the audience.
Friends, good morning to all of you. You know, when I'm in this city, Madras, this is a place I studied my engineering. So I want to remember my teacher. You don't mind? You don't mind? Everyone should remember his or her teacher. So in 1954, many of you were not in idea forms, 1954. 54, 57, I studied aeronautical engineering here at Madras Institute of Technology. You know, we are taught aerodynamics. We are taught structures, propulsion, instrument, like that they will teach. One day, one professor, Professor Srinivasan, and he's a designer, aircraft designer. He was the director of Madras Institute of Technology. He called 9 of us who was in the class, aeronautical engineering class. He said, you guys have to do some work in 6 months. Then 6 months, he said, you design a low-level attack aircraft with Mach number 1.5 times, that's your sound speed 1.5 times. Now, I am a aerodynamist. My colleagues, 8 fellows, propulsion, structures, instrumentation, guidance, control. He called all of us, you guys design a low-level attack aircraft. So it was a big puzzling. Not only that, next thing is that you should be the project leader, he asked me. And then that professor, unique professor, he is not interested in a particular subject what we are taught. He wanted to see how the subjects are all integrated. Aerodynamics, structure and propulsion, guidance and control are all integrated, and you realize the system. So we didn't understand at that time. So that is the job he gave us for 6 months. We worked very hard, of course. And those days, we did not have in front of me computers. We don't have. 1954, we used slide rule. Have you heard about slide rules? Who has heard about it? Slide rule. Oh, so it's a museum now. So slide rule we used. We did calculations and all those things. Very difficult calculations you had to do. Day and night worked. But still we are in the Madras city. I could not, even though I'm the project leader, I could not control all my members of the team, project team. Cinema is attracting the city cinemas. So after 5 months, my teacher comes, Professor Srinivasan, when he's going to tennis court, he came on Sunday. He sits with us and reviews in our laboratory. We were all there, all the project team members were there. He said, I am witnessing in front of me a hopeless design. 5 months work. You guys have not done the job, okay? And there is 1 more month. If you don't do, I was getting a scholarship for my study. He said, you follow, you will lose your scholarship, he said. Now I had a fear, really. Madras Institute of Technology, very costly, I don't know. lot of bosses are there, institution bosses, engineering bosses, they will charge not so heavily. So there we all worked very hard, very hard, because ultimatum has come, and I brought all the my colleague students together. We did a very good job. In another third week, we are ready for design presentation. So when we did the design presentation, and actually Professor Srinivasan was there, and he spent with us 2 hours. He said, Kalam and his team, we are very happy you fellows have done the job. So I would like to congratulate you. For congratulating to us, he took us to his house and gave us a Madras hot coffee and appreciated us. But the issue here is not Madras coffee or completion of the project. What we learned in the 9th student, we learned system design, system integration, system management. When we are doing the engineering, our professor taught us how to do the system design. Wherever you go, they won't ask whether you are aerodynamist or structural engineer, instrumentation. They will give a design. And if it needs multiple technology. So that teacher, Srinivasan, because of him, because of the project I did, and I know what is a system, what the system design, what the system integration, and what is the system management, I learned. This is throughout my life, whether it was ISRO, whether it was DRDO, or whether any government establishment or industry, it helped me, that system design, system integration, system management. I would like to give a tribute to my teacher, Professor Srinivasan, who... Now, friends, my friend, he gave a beautiful talk, Prabhu Chavalaji, New Indian Express, the editorial director, New Indian Express, and Mr. Manoj Kumar Sandalia, CMD, New Indian Express, all the delegates, participants, and distinct guests. Friends, I am indeed delighted to participate in the inauguration of Think Edu conclave in the ambience of teacher, principal, educationist, and from the many parts of the country assembled here at Chennai. I would like to greet the New Indian Express group for organizing this Think Edu conclave, and I take this opportunity to greet all the associating partners, speakers, participants, invitees, distinct guests. My greetings to all of you. Friends, education is a lifelong learning, particularly containing 3 components according to me. They are learning to learn. Number 1, learning to learn. Number 2, learning to live. After all, why do you learn? Learning to live. Third one, learning to survive. In difficulties, we have to survive also. So education should give us learning to learn, learning to learn, learning to live, and learning to survive. This is what education. Whether it's primary, secondary, or higher education. Indeed, students are the target for learning. From entry to the school, the students almost 12 years are in the learning process with 25,000 hours in the classroom, 1st to 12th standards. 25,000 hours in their classroom. We have to ask ourselves whether we have these 3 components of education. I will be very happy if Think Edu Submit comes to one single reform and recommendation, that is primary education. One recommendation I want from Edu Conclave, how important primary education is, the source of education according to me. Primary education, the source of education, and reforming primary education is vital for empowering the education. Do you all agree? Yes or no? Okay. Primary education is the foundation for education. It has a purpose to bring out the creativity of the children 5 to 15 years while they grow. This is the time a primary school has to have a creative syllabus, creative classroom, and creative teacher. Now primary school, You have to ask, I studied in the private school, you studied in the private school. Every one of us ask a question. Do the primary school classroom is creative? Do the teacher is creative? Is the syllabus creative? That question we have to ask. Now, so the changes are needed in all the three aspects, according to me. How to do that? Probably, this may be one of the targeted subject for discussion in Think Edu Conclave. In my talk and discussion, I will be discussing the aspects of how to empower the students, teachers to transform the education system. Hence, I would like to share my thoughts on the topic, evolution of a great teachers. Topic I have selected, evolution of, you have to be with me, evolution of great teachers. Now, evolution of great teacher, some experiences I am going to tell you. Friends, our children have to have primary school teachers with capacities of knowledge, passion, and compassion. Knowledge, our primary school teacher has to have knowledge with passion and compassion. Knowledge itself has three components. And the teacher will have to be creative. Righteous in thinking, and courage in taking decision in the environment of the student community. Of course, passion for teaching, particularly for children with compassion, generally lift the knowledge coefficient of the overall classroom. With this background of defining the teacher's profile, the nation will be fortunate to have such teachers. My study results is based on the two of my teachers. Of course, long ago, but still it's relevant. My study results is based on two of my teachers. One is a primary school teacher, and the other is secondary school teacher during 1936 to 1946, British India. British was ruling at that time when I studied primary school and secondary school. You all fortunate that study in the India's India, okay? Now, my great teacher, I will never forget, Siva Subramani Iyer, was my 5th class science teacher in Rameshwaram. Was my 9th, and then Ramakrishnan sir, I will call him always Ramakrishnan sir, because he taught me mathematics beautifully. Ramakrishnan sir was my 9th class mathematics teacher. Both the teachers, when they enter into a classroom, watch what I am saying, both the teachers, when they enter into our classroom, they radiate knowledge and they radiate purity of life. When they enter into the classroom, they radiate knowledge, they radiate purity of life. Purity of life comes out of their way of life. They lead simple life. Now, once Siva Subramanian Iyer was teaching, my 5th class teacher, was teaching how birds fly. Going to the drawing board, put a bird sketch beautifully, and he has got a fantastic handwriting, and I had the worst handwriting. So by drawing diagram the blackboard in a classroom of 55 boys, later took all of us to the Rameshwaram seashore, showed us how the birds fly with the flapping their wings and other dynamics action of the birds. He explained, I'm not going into details. That day, the way my teacher taught how a birds fly, not only I learned how a birds fly, he injected in me my aim in life. Aim in life meant when I was 10-year boy, on that day Siva Subramanian Iyer sir injected me what should be my profile of life. I didn't know what is flight science at the age of 10. But definitely I know something to do with flight I must do. It happened in life. That aim was indeed rooted deep in my heart that I should pursue something to do with flying. Even though I went for flying, my mission went to Air Force, they did not select me. but I started making the products for them, which will fly. My teacher, of course I flew. I flew a Su-30 aircraft and I was the president of Supreme Commander, I can fly. My teacher is an example. My teacher is an example for love, for teaching. Example for love for teaching. And the teacher was also a shining star among the teaching community. There are 15 teachers there, but he was the shining star there. Because the way he teaches, the way he acquired knowledge, and the way he leads a life. For students, Sivasubramania is a role model for knowledge and also way of life. So we all as a student, we don't read just the syllabus alone. But we are looking at the age of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We are seeing a person who is day and day he is in front of us. What did I learn from my mathematics teacher Ramakrishnan sir at Swartz High School, Ramanathapuram? We were 400 boys and girls in the school. My mathematics teacher Ramakrishnan used to say, "Oh, my students, my teaching mission is to ensure that you children love mathematics and thereby you score good marks apart from learning mathematics with pleasure." When I was studying in the 9th class, many of us used to get less than 40 marks in mathematics. Our mathematics teacher, of course I used to get good marks, but generally, our mathematics teacher told us that when you are score more than 80 marks in other subjects, why are you getting low marks in mathematics? He evolved, Ramakrishnan sir evolved a method of teaching that created confidence for the whole class. How did the teacher inject the confidence in us? One of the job of the teacher to inject confidence in you. How did the teacher inject the confidence in us? While conducting the class, he gave us an exercise of 10 problems. He asked us to make the teams and solve the problem. He formed a number of teams. As a teamwork, we solved the problem. Through that method, more than 90% of the class, including me, got 100 by 100. We were bubbling with happiness. Then onwards, our mathematics performance improved for better. After a few years, we realized that our teacher injected the confidence in that I can do it by his teaching method, and also formulation problem, make us to succeed and promote self-confidence. Ramakrishnan sir taught us with compassion. And lifted the classroom to higher level. Now, friends, I want to talk to you society and teacher. Because after all, teacher can be shaped by the society. We cannot say, send our children, okay, you take care of our children. No, but we have a certain responsibility. I have seen with my own eyes and life, both my teacher Ramakrishnan sir and Sivasubramania were venerated in my home and in our village. My father, who is 3 times elder to my teacher's age, will get up and receive my teachers. When they walk in the street, everyone pays the respect my teachers. Of course, my 2 great teachers were shining stars in the midst of 30 other teachers. Before leaving to Delhi for this Think Edu conclave, I asked my respected friend and a great educationist, particularly children's education, Professor Yaspal. He's a children's education, the top man in the country. Particularly children's education, Professor Yaspal. I asked him, Professor Yaspal, what is your view in selection of teachers? I'm going to Madras, I asked him. What is your view in selection of teachers? Professor Yaspal said, Kalam, you and me have seen in the children meet how children ask unique questions, how we get change in our knowledge acquisition as our way of life. So, he's saying, if you want to select a teacher, put the teacher in a group of young people. Let them ask the question. The way the teacher answered the question, if he doesn't know, he will say he doesn't know. But then the way he answered the question and the way he gives with compassion, some wrong question comes, he can appreciate and make it a good question. Such type of teacher, what we need. So one of the selection process of a primary school teacher would be the potential teacher need to take class in the primary school, assess how she or she conduct the creative class, how she or he answer the question for the children, how she or he teaches with compassion. Do you follow? Now, challenge to education generating creative teachers. Challenge to education is generating creative teachers. As envisioned, we need to have a creative classroom, creative syllabus, and creative teacher. This is what I started. We can create creative classroom and also creative syllabus, but the challenge is how to select creative teacher. How many teachers are here? How many teachers are here? I am also a teacher, sir. Okay. So I'm glad number of teachers are there. Now, we can create creative classroom. We can also create syllabus. But the challenge is how to select creative teacher, how to identify creative teacher, how to create creative teacher. That's a real challenge. I'm going to address that problem. Okay. But you say it's okay. The topic is okay. Okay. I have studied how the other nations are handling the processing, preparing the teacher or initial teacher preparation. They call it initial teacher preparation. Let me focus on certain countries and see how they have been selected, identified, created primary school teachers. As per OECD, Organization of Economic Cooperation Development, international approaches to teacher selection and recruitment study emphasizes the most effective mechanism for selecting candidates for ITP acknowledge that for a person to become an effective teacher, they need to possess certain set of characteristics that can be identified before they enter teaching: a high overall level of literacy, a numeracy, strong interpersonal and communication skill, and a willingness to learn and the motivation to teach. Motivation to teach, the highest mark. Now, entry to school teacher training across the world. In many nations, entry to teacher training at undergraduate level is determined by a range of factors including student performance at school in terms of attainment and attitude, performance in scholastic assessment test SAT is called, an interview by the higher education institution, and a series of tests teaching attitude and ethics also. Particularly when I study the selection process of primary school teachers, which I have sat in their class also, when I studied the selection process of primary school teachers in Singapore and Finland, both places I participate in the classroom, both nations reveal the principles of selection had certain basis. Let us look at Singapore experience. Good teaching comes from identity and integrity of the teacher. According to them, good teaching comes from the identity and integrity of the teacher. Learning to think, thinking critically and creatively should become the hallmark of the teacher preparation program. This is the basis of selection in Singapore primary school teachers. Finland experience. Teacher education is academic and takes place in universities. The intention is to link theory and practice in a sufficiently close relationship. The teacher may be able to resolve everyday teaching problem on the basis of his or her theoretical knowledge. All the teachers are qualified for postgraduate studies. Pedagogical studies and content knowledge studies must be brought close together. The role of a teacher in the broader societal context is emphasized. After graduation from the university, only students are licensed as teachers and may apply for teaching position in schools, including primary school. Now let us see in India what we do. India's teacher training program. In India, to become a primary or upper primary school teacher, the basic education qualification is 12th class with a 2-year teacher training. Out of 6 lakh students who passed 12th grade exam, only less than 0.008% join elementary teacher training with high merit. They become teachers by choice, not by chance. Students with UG, PG qualification in any of the subject taught in the secondary and higher secondary school level, respective to or eligible for admission in BGD, Bachelor of Education. As per the latest norm, teachers have to pass what is called Teachers Eligibility Test to qualify and continue to teach. Now, my studying Finland, studying Singapore, studying India, my suggestion to selection of a great teachers, number of institutions I find here. Great teachers of primary school are very important building block for three component education system: primary, secondary, and higher education. In the world, great research work has been done. How to evolve a primary school teacher? I am impressed by the selection nurturing process of school teachers by Singapore and Finland, as discussed earlier. Of course, every nation has to evolve its own methodology. I have attempted a possible evolution of our primary school teachers based on the experience of multiple countries and India's experience, the past and present methodology. So friends, with all the experience what I have narrated so far for the last 10 minutes, I suggest the following criteria which can be formulated in selection for great teachers. It can be discussed further also. You can ask me questions also. What are the criteria? Number one, teacher has been trained in a university environment, and the potential teacher has been taught by great teachers. Because great teachers' environment is very, very important. Like, for example, scientific laboratory, if there are 10 great scientists in the laboratory, they work, that every young fellows want to be like them, their motivation. So teacher has been trained in a university environment, potential teacher has been taught by great teachers. That is teaching, how to get the teachers for teaching. It's essential, the second point, it's essential to establish the teacher loves teaching as a profession. Loves teaching profession. You put the teacher trainee in front of a classroom. Within 1 hour you come to know whether he loves teaching or she loves the teaching or not. It is essential to establish the teacher loves teaching as a profession. Third one, society. Society cannot disown just sending the boy or girl to the school. Society has to respect the teachers and honor great teachers. The last one, the teacher has to have a capacity for lifelong learning. It doesn't stop learning. It's a lifelong. These are the 4 aspects. Now let us see, once we have these, the great teachers are in position. So with all the discussion, I am assuming such a teacher are in position. What kind of capacities needs to be built among the students? What are the capacities the teacher has to build? Capacity building model. When students come out of the educational institution, certain capacities are required to be built in them to deal with the real world, particularly to grow in their professional career and participate in the national development. I suggest the ingredient for capacity building must be embedded right from the beginning of the student's life, from primary education to higher education. A good educational model is the need of the hour to ensure that the students are developed as enlightened citizens and also participate in national development missions. For participating in nation building tasks, the capacities which students required are the capacities required to be built among the students in their formative years by the educational institutions are, what are they? Capacity. The capacity for research or inquiry, questioning mind, research or inquiry. The capacity for creativity and innovation. The capacity for use high technology. You can't get away from high technology. Internet, they have to use. The capacity to use high technology. The capacity for entrepreneurial leadership, and the capacity for moral leadership. These are the capacities we have to build in the students. Let us take the research and inquiry. In the 21st century, about the management of all the knowledge and information we have generated, the value addition we could bring it. We must give our students the skills with which they find a way through the sea of knowledge they have created and continue with a lifelong learning. Today, we are empowered by technology to reach ourselves beyond classrooms and become a lifelong learners. This is indeed required for sustained economic development of the nation and also individual prosperity. Now, second aspect, creativity and innovation. The management of knowledge in 21st century is beyond the capacity of a single individual. The amount of information that we have around us is overwhelming. The management of knowledge, therefore, must move out of the realm of the individual, shift to the realm of the networked groups. You saw my classroom, how suddenly 4 members were 9 members become a networked. The student must learn how to manage knowledge collectively and work in multidisciplinary teams. When the information is network, the power and utility of the information grows multifold as predicted by Metcalfe's law. Information that is static does not grow. In the new digital economy, information circulated across the enterprise create innovation and eventually contribute to national wealth. Third capacity, that is capacity to use high technology. Every student in our school and colleges should be brought in contact with the technology to aid their learning process. The educational institutions should be equipped with adequate computing equipment, laboratory equipment, and internet facilities fast with the high band internet facilities, provide an environment for the student to enhance their learning ability. In the midst of all the technological innovation and revolution, we cannot think that the role of the teacher will be diminished. In fact, the teacher will become even more important, and the whole world of education will become a teacher assisted, would help in teleporting the best teacher to every nook and corner of the country and propagate the knowledge. The teacher becomes a facilitator and knowledge manager. For full utilization of available connectivities through satellite, high bandwidth optical fiber communication in conjunction with technologies like WiMAX, the most critical aspect is the availability of quality content. I would suggest all the experts here to address this important issue and evolve a time-bound action plan so that quality content is made available at nodal point for access by the student, teachers, and desiring learners. The fourth is the entrepreneurship. Because we create the employment seekers, 12 million people, 7.5 million people, 10th class, 10 plus 1, they leave, they don't go to college. They're all employment seekers. Aptitude for entrepreneurship should be cultivated right from the beginning and in the educational environment, both in the schools and the colleges. You must teach our student, you have to reduce 25% of the syllabus, the college syllabus and school syllabus. You must teach our students take calculated risk for the sake of larger gain. Entrepreneurship, we should teach them, but within the ethos of good business. They should also cultivate disposition to do things right. The inner being must be illuminated with righteousness. This capacity will enable them to take up challenging tasks later. The next point, last one, the moral leadership. Moral leadership involves two aspects. First, it requires the ability to have a compelling and powerful dreams or vision of human betterment. Moral leadership requires a disposition to do the right thing and influence others also to do the right things. There is a need for inclusion of moral science class as a part of education in all the schools and colleges, even though we are a secular nation. But secularity does not call us not to teach great human beings. This is essential for promotion of value-based education leading to enlightened citizenship. Now, another one quality a teacher has to teach. What can I do for you? What can I do for you? What I can take from you. You know, that is our motto now. All the trouble starts, what I can take. But our children, we have to teach them, what can I do for you? Children should say, what can I do for you? Every one of us has gone through various phases of education, from childhood to profession. I visualize a scene. A child, a teenager, an adult, and a leader are appearing before me. A child, a teenager, an adult, and leader are appearing before me. How does each one react to a particular situation? The situation is a human need. The child asks, what can you do for me? Child asks, what you can do for me? Teenager says, I want to do it alone. Leave me alone. The young person proclaims, let us do it together. The experienced person. The leader offers, what can I do for you? So the teacher have got a tremendous responsibility to transform a child into a leader. The transformation of what can you do for me to what can I do for you? Don't you think so? This teacher, his way of life itself will teach. He doesn't need to have a syllabus for that. That will demand a teacher to be a visionary with an inspiring capacity And the teacher has to ensure the teachers impart learning to the children in such a way as to bring out the best in them for this, and he has to be a good teacher himself or herself. I am sure the best of creativity among the students will emerge from integrated influence of principals, teachers, and parents and students. For building capacity, it is essential to increase the teacher-student ratio, improve the quality of teachers, provide continuous methods for upgradation, and provide them with technology aids for becoming lifelong autonomous learners. The experts assembled here may try to review the type of capacity building needed in teaching based on their experience. I have given certain capacity, you can add or subtract. Now, last point I want to communicate to you is a global human resource cadre. This I am advocating myself. Global human resource cadre. Keeping the above seen in mind, the universities and school education system need to create two cadres of personnel. A global cadre of skilled youth with specific knowledge of special skills. Another global cadre of youth with higher education. These two cadres will be required not only for powering the manufacturing service sector of India, but also fulfilling the skilled human resource required globally. Thus, the universities and secondary school education system will have to work towards increasing the throughput of the university education system from the existing 10% to 15% by the year 2015 to 20% by the year 2020, 25% by the year 2025, and 30% by the year 2030. The graduates who come out of the university need to have specialization linked to employment potential. They are the employment seekers. They come with the employment. The two certificates they come. A degree and a diploma in expertise. The secondary school follows two certificates. One is 10th class, 10 plus 1, 10 plus 2, and a skill certificate. So the skill certificate, the expert diploma, these are the making them employable. The skill-oriented education category, which may be around 30% of overall population by 2030, will have people with world-class skill sets in areas such as food processing, construction, carpentry, electrical system, repair of mechanical system, fashion design, paralegal, paramedical, accountancy, sales and marketing, software, hardware maintenance service, and software quality assurance personnel. For example, the Indian construction industry employs over 31 million people for its asset generating activity of 300,000 crores, which includes expenditure of 200,000 crores incurred by the government. This will need development of specialized quality human resource in all the spectrum of construction activity. This task will need reorientation of education system for generating world-class skill among the youth. The skill set will enable higher productivity, which in turn will result in better competitiveness. Our education system is also aimed that the remaining people should at least have a secondary school qualification with training for employment in agriculture and service sector. Now I am suggesting a national policy for creating global human development cadre for India can be evolved through a national team drawing experts from multiple ministries, including education system experts from 3 sectors of economy and the various professional associations of the society. The evolution of such a policy in a time-bound manner will generate quality, knowledge and skill needed by all sectors of the Indian economy and globally employable human resources. The aim of the education system should be able to create employment generators rather than employment seekers. Today our universities, our secondary school, they are making employment seekers. What we need is employment generators. So I personally suggest a 3-pronged strategy is needed to make education more attractive, make it skill imparting, and simultaneously create employment potential. How to do that? The education system should highlight the importance of entrepreneurship and prepare the student to get oriented towards setting up enterprises which will provide them creativity. In addition, it should be taught by all the students. In addition, college syllabus even for the science and commerce courses should include topics and practical where such entrepreneurship is possible. Secondly, the banking system should provide venture capital right from every village level to prospective entrepreneurs. When I So, friends, with all this, finally, thirdly, the entrepreneurs have to produce the competitive product for becoming a successful in their mission. The experts here may like to study the role of education in improving the competitiveness index rating of the country to within 10 ranks. Now we are 43 competitors. We should bring it 10. Now, in conclusion, evolution of policy for global human resource cadre is essential. Corporate houses can make important contribution by adapting schools, particularly in the rural areas in their region, and providing infrastructure for schools in the form of infrastructure, clean drinking water, toilet facilities, transportation facilities for children coming from faraway places, equipping in the sport complexes, and providing computer facilities for technology-assisted learning. Capacity building linked to the needs of three sectors of economy and research and development is very important. Think EDU Conclave, with its understanding of the seriousness of the problem and its familiarity with the industrial sector, can act as a bridge in creating active, healthy partnership among government, education system, and non-government organizations for bringing total literacy to the nation and generating globally competitive quality human resource for the national and international deployment. Ultimately, education in its real sense is a pursuit of truth. What you know, what I know. It is an endless journey through knowledge and enlightenment. Such a journey opens up new vistas of development of the humanism, where there is neither scope nor room for pettiness, disharmony, jealousy, hatred, or enmity. It transforms a human being into a wholesome whole, a noble soul, and an asset to the universe. Universal goodwill in its true sense becomes the sheet anchor for such education. Real education enhances the dignity of human being and increases his or her self-respect. If only the real sense of education could be realized by each individual and carried forward every field of human activity, the world will be so much better place to live in. With these words, I am happy to inaugurate the Think EDU Conclave, and my best wishes to all the participants of Conclave in their mission of creating quality human resource needs of the country in the knowledge economy era. May God bless you all, friends. You want to?
Your energy levels. My question is that India being such a huge country with...
Who are you, sir? Who are you, sir?
I am Professor Venkateshwaran. I am in a B school.
Oh, okay.
We follow the old system of Lord Macaulay's education module. Have we ever thought of going up or even removing it? Because he did it for the sake of making quill drivers. Whereas we are, after so many years of independence, have we ever thought of changing over to a new module of education? And none of the universities, we had the old Nalanda University, but none of the universities or teachers could make out to noble, status. We do not have any of the universities or colleges in India coming under the rank of top 100. So what, according to you, could be the reason for such a backwardness in spite of the fact that we say we are improving, we are growing, developed and so on? What's your
I will not comment on Macaulay or the past, but I want to tell you, I am teaching the foreign university, 2 universities. I am teaching in the Indian universities also, okay? Now, one of our major, if you want to become the top 100, 200, which is in your mind, research, okay? That research, we have to concentrate. Research doesn't come just like the heaven. We have to get hold of 40 below professors, and they are like once these researchers, they will attract a magnet, they become a magnet. The students throughout the world, they've come. Throughout the world will come with there is one great teachers here, okay? Great teacher. So for that, the research lights have to burn 24 hours, okay? Research, yes. Huh? Who are you, sir? Yeah. Physician. Oh, fantastic. You have got 2 hearts, sir. Physician will have 2 hearts. One is or biological heart, another one kind heart. I hope you have both.
You are always in our heart, President. You are always in our heart.
You have both hearts. Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
See, education is more than a long-term investment. It breaks all the barrier, be it caste, creed, or color. But at the moment, the burning issue in our country is how to bridge the gap between both the sexes. Boys in schools, whether we have to segregate like what we do in our system, or they get along well in the West, everywhere there is problem. If at all there is one thing from you, from People's President, how do we break this barrier of this boys and girls? That, of course, the India is not at all in the rosy picture or in the everywhere.
See, that I have thought that gender breakthrough has taken place. I find many colleges, engineering colleges, particularly medical colleges, nursing colleges, women dominate boys and girls. That's not a problem. Where we have problem is in Parliament. Okay, Parliament women 30% should take there. Okay, 30% of women, that you should be concerned. 30% of the minimum, at least 30% of the women should take a position in Parliament. They make law. They make partner in the law making. Okay, so that is what's the crying need today. You are all menfolk. Most of the menfolk, you will not support that. Will you support it? You support, okay. Yes.
And I studied in my class.
Where are you, sir?
Uh,
You are there.
When I studied in my primary class, we used to have Atichudi.
Adichudi, yes, that's Adichudi.
But-
Avayar one, yes, sir.
But when the Tamil zealots came to power, they abolished it from the schools. And that resulted in bad behavior of students. I thought how to remedy it. Many children don't know Tamil nowadays. I have translated Atichudi into English, and I want people like you to give it a good support. So that moral education starts in the beginning. And we are all good citizens today. I want good examples to be followed like you.
See, அரிது மானிடராய் பிறப்பதும் அரிது அதிலும் அரிது பேன் குருடு செவிடு பேடி நீங்கி பிறத்தல் அரிது அதான் அவையா சொன்னார் சார்.
So, excuse me.
It's very nice. You will translate and do it, sir. I will read. I will be the first fellow to read it. Okay.
Sir, excuse me. I'm Dr. Maran from Sairam Group of Institution. I have a small doubt. The last third of decade, our Indian education systems, the quality of education system diluting somewhat. Whether we had problems with the curriculum or student or faculty or the politicians or systems, I had small doubt with this. Can you clarify this doubt, sir?
See, in front of me, one of the great educationists is there, Professor Indreshan is there. Sir, the question will you answer that? But anyway, I want to tell you that, see, I have told you, we have a primary school, we have problem in the class, we problem in the teacher, problem in the syllabus, okay? That is, we need a creative classroom, creative teacher, creative syllabus. But I don't comment on secondary education, higher education. But my problem is primary education because that is the building block of all the education. So the reform needed there. I am pushing that idea of reform to build so much of syllabus they teach there. What they need children is creative classroom, creative teacher. So I am working for it, and the right person for that, Professor Yash Paul, he can give, because he works with children, and he can give a creative classroom definition and a creative teacher definition and creative syllabus. So we are all requesting him to give some ideas on that.
Professor Kalam.
Where are you? Yes.
Yeah, I'm Uma Shivaraman. I have been a teacher and a principal in the Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan. My greatest concern is what to do to attract the young people of today to the teaching profession. The great teachers you talked about, inspiring personalities, they are a vanishing species. What do I do to get young people to take to teaching and go about the formula you prescribed?
I personally believe we have to attract. Okay, we have to attract. I am not going to come under secondary or higher education. I will come under primary education. I have worked with some people in Singapore, primary education people. I also worked with Finland people in the educationalist. And this race, primary teaching race, is a very precious race because they are injecting knowledge in the young children. What is knowledge after all? Creativity, righteousness, and courage. This is what they are teaching children. We should pay any amount. Okay, for them, the primary school teachers level should be separate from all the level. Now, position their level. They have to be properly fixed to attract them. Okay, this should be a cadre. Primary school teachers a cadre. Second one, we can't disown. The society cannot disown the teacher, primary school teacher. He is part of the society, part of the family. That respect you have to bring in. Okay. Third thing is primary school teacher also be a graduate. Okay, graduate. Fourth thing is he should be the university environment. His colleague, the peer, the people who teach education, they should be great teachers. Such teachers should be teach the young teaching students. Okay, these are the 4 suggestions I have given in my talk. You can see in my website www.abdulkalam.com.
Sir, this is the last question because Dr. Kalam has to ask.
Sir,
you asked one question earlier,
yeah.
I think. Yeah. Did you?
No, I have not asked.
You haven't. This is the last question.
Sir, I am Krishan Khanna from Bombay. We run a think tank. So my question is on vocational training and skills. China has 5 lakh vocational training centers. We have 5,000 going to 9,000. We are hardly training our people. And we have 37,000 colleges. More colleges are coming up. And the question is, we don't get skilled people in India, although we have 300 million people who are unemployed or partly employed. So how to change the mindset of the people of India? They all want to send their children to college. Nobody wants to build up skills.
So don't worry, sir. Don't worry about it because 7.5 million every year. 10th class, 10 plus 1, 10 plus 2, they stop education. They don't go to college. So that is the target for you, okay? That is, you impart the skill, make them great classical skill workers, okay? You concentrate on that. Next question. Can I take one more question?
Just a minute. I think lady should be given a chance first. Because yeah, please.
Dr. Kalam, thanks for giving a lady a chance. This question is in 2 parts. You spoke
Short
about...
question, please, because
Yes.
everybody is asking longer questions.
Where are you?
Here, sir.
Achha, okay.
You spoke about primary teacher empowerment. I want you to comment on the current B.Ed program, which in my view is limiting teachers to their own sort of experiences. The other is about your book, Turning Points. So what is the one key message in that we should all take away?
For a teacher.
Yes.
Teacher. You are a teacher? You are a teacher?
I teach and I also work in education.
Madam, since you are a teacher, I am also a teacher. I want to tell you, if I take a class, I got 50 fellows, okay? 50 fellows, boys and girls. If I teach them, I will not concentrate first 10 rank fellows. I will not concentrate the average people. I will concentrate below average people. Lift them up. That's the great teacher. Really, that's the real great teacher.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Arangasamy from Periyar Maniamma University. A very brief question.
Very short, because he has to leave in 2 minutes. Short question, yeah, please.
Oh, yes. I am Dr. Arangasamy from Periyar Maniamma University. You have been insisting on the importance of research. Twice, thrice you have said research. I am very happy about it. Now what I think is, 60 years have gone by since we are taking
Please ask a
independence.
question.
Forget the past, sir.
And then,
how to do it future?
600 universities we have. If there is a hampering in the growth of research, what is the factor that is hampering? And to avoid that, what we have to do?
See, research topic you are there. My feeling is, if I have certain capacity to take a decision, I would select 50 universities, okay, out of your whatever number you said. That 50 universities, I will see the core competence of the university and empower the universities for research. Empower the university and bring the great researchers wherever they are. I will bring and inject there.
Yeah, last lady, this lady. Last question, no more question, please.
Shall we? Eh? Yes, sir. I'm glad you understood that.
So I just need an answer to how do we institutionalize good service practices in school?
From modern school, Delhi.
My feeling, madam, see, student, for example, when I was a young fellow, 10-year fellow, long ago, nearly 72 years back, 10-year fellow. Okay. At that time, my teacher, when he teaches, mathematics teacher, when he teaches, we go to the board and put some equation and all he'll put. But what we look at is turban, what he has put, and what type of this we were wondering, and the purity of life coming out of him. So that's what inspired us. So you don't do any exercise, you be a great teacher, great human being, great teacher, great human being.
Thank you, Doctor. Please.